The Spirit World series demonstrates the four significant guilds that must be merged, or intermingled in order for empire to flourish, those of the priests, of the masons, of the navigators, and of the merchants, of which I would also include barons in both the sense of the lords, estate owners, but also a titan of business or industry. In the Holy Sailors, click the image, I demonstrated that the Phoenicians are ancient Italians, Etruscans, which gave way to the Latins, but also peopled the British Isles and the coasts of northern Europe all the way to Denmark and beyond. Depending on how many crosses are shown, they represent the kingdom of heaven, the declination of the sun between the three major points in the sky, the two tropics and the equator. There is a writing attributed to Jehan de Manderville from the 14th century, though his existence is difficult to corroborate, where he wrote, the Star Transmontane, star beyond the mountain, that is clept, called, the Star of the Sea, star of the sea. The word sea is spelled sea. I made the case that the Holy See is not just an allusion to the priests being astronomers, but also taking over the industries of navigation, hence it is also the Holy See. The papal cross is nearly the same as the Phoenician letter, Samek. Prior to the invention of the sextant, navigators used things like astrolabes, Jacob's staff, and the like. From Wiki, the term Jacob's staff is used to refer to several things, also known as cross-staff, a ballistella, a forestaff, a ballistilla, or a ballistilha. In its most basic form, a Jacob's staff is a stick or pole with length markings. Most staffs are much more complicated than that, and usually contain a number of measurement and stabilization features. The two most frequent uses are in astronomy and navigation for a simple device to measure angles, later replaced by the more precise sextants. In surveying and scientific fields that use surveying techniques such as geology and ecology, for a vertical rod that penetrates or sits on the ground and supports a compass or other instrument. The simplest use of a Jacob's staff is to make qualitative judgments of the height and angle of an object relative to the user of the staff. Jacob is IAC, sun, plus ob, or sun serpent, hence the encoding of the sun's ecliptic in Jacob's ladder and Jerusalem, Hierosolima or Hierosolymum in Latin, hiero, sacred, holy, plus solum, ladder. Recall this symbolism when turning the entered apprentice tracing board on its side so that the directions are proper. Who else uses serpent staff, ecliptic, symbolism? Moses, MSE, Moshe, is a term for an initiate in ancient Egypt. Who was the god of healing back then? Aesculapius, the universal fire, the sun, the All-Father. While writing this, April 7, 23, Owen Benjamin just referred to Jesus as the All-Father, the Father of all on his livestream. In modern times, his name appears as Asclepius. I don't need to make any further arguments to demonstrate the truth, but for those who want to dive deeper, the Spirit World series will teach you the universal system. The mariner's astrolabe looks similar to other symbols the Church uses, doesn't it? According to Wiki, in navigation the instrument is also called a cross-staff and was used to determine angles, for instance the angle between the horizon and Polaris or the Sun to determine a vessel's latitude, or the angle between the top and bottom of an object to determine the distance to said object if its height is known, or the height of the object if its distance is known, or the horizontal angle between two visible locations to determine one's point on a map. The Jacob's staff, when used for astronomical observations, was also referred to as a radius astronomicus. With the demise of the cross-staff, in the modern era the name Jacob's staff is applied primarily to the device used to provide support for surveyors' instruments. Does anyone find the depiction of Leif the Red, Ericsson, in Newfoundland suspicious? Sure does look like an occult cross of Lorraine above a Latin crucified Savior on his chest. His helmet signifies the messenger of the gods, the alphabet, Logos, wisdom, Mercury, Hermes, Thoth, Odin, Jesus, Buddha, and all the other gods of eloquence and communication. Why not depict him in the cloak of the times found excavated in southwestern Greenland? The rest of this article may be controversial, so become a member to get access to the second portion of it.